walking freely, so I expect we'll see him probably in the next offensive series. Right now, the Cougar defense got to hunker down. They're in trouble, and there's contact. Swanee for a second.
Well, Keith, inside the 20, the teams that win have to be the most aggressive. All right? And if we take a look at UCLA from 1996,
offside against
at 43 times inside the 20, Keith, they scored 39 times. So they scored the first time down here a touchdown because they were the most aggressive. When Washington State had the ball, they only got a field goal because the UCLA defense more aggressive. They take it to them. Here's a chance for the offensive line to exert itself, Keith.
All right, it's 2nd down and 1 after the penalty. Ball given to Hicks. Big hole in the middle. Touchdown. Are they going to give it to him? One calls it, 2 don't. It is touchdown, UCLA. One of the linesmen came in and marked that ball short of the goal line, but one came right behind him and signaled touchdown.
Pull back just straight up, man-to-man blocking. Hicks does a nice job, Keith. He came to play today.
Well, he needs a big season. He gained a lot of yardage a year ago and scored 20 touchdowns, but this is the year he needs it for his future in football. And there's your kick right down the middle by Saylor, and the Bruins now jumped out to a 14-3 lead. The first touchdown came as a result. They made it themselves. This time they come up with a touchdown off the Cougar turnover.
Well, Hicks may have scored the touchdown, Keith, but it was Huma that set it up.
Yep.
And going back further than that, it was...
Birnbaum made it easy.
Well, yeah, and going back, it was Weldon Ford, the defensive end, who sacked or tackled Ryan Leaf, that took Leaf out of the ball game, that brought Birnbaum in.
So the Bruins 14-3, and will kick off now at 14:53 to play in the first half. We've had a lot of things happen in this football game already. Nyan Taylor and Kevin McKenzie are the 2 deep people for the Cougars. Taylor is number 82 and McKenzie is number 9.
That injury to Ryan Leaf helped give UCLA 7 points.
Low line drive, knuckling down the field, tough to handle sometimes, no problem here from the 9-yard line. It is McKenzie running across the 30. So it'll be a first down right about the 30 for Washington State. And let's see the quarterback. It is Leaf coming back. So Ryan Leaf is back in at quarterback. So they restrapped the ankle, he walked it off, and he's back in.
Check his when he sets up, Keith, if that's his right ankle, if he sets up all right, or if he's favoring it.
Chris Jackson wide to the bottom along with Mac Washington. That's Mac Washington going in motion. And Leaf gives the ball away to Jackson and no place to run. The Bruin front just swarmed him. And so there's a loss of a couple of yards. Next week, America's biggest road show travels into a day-night doubleheader. Live regional action, 3:30 Eastern. Peyton Manning in Tennessee against these UCLA Bruins. And then at 8 Eastern time, it'll be Bobby Bowden and the Florida State Seminoles against the Southern California Trojans in the Coliseum in Los Angeles.
Florida State, USC, first time ever.
2nd down and 12 now. Leaf back. Plants and throws, got some air under it, and it is thrown too far. The pass was intended for Chris Jackson. Good defense. So the Bruins secondary, which was suspect coming into the game, holding up very well so far. And a penalty flag. Laying just over about the 38-yard line. It's against UCLA. That'll be first down, Washington State. Defensive holding.
Keith, I've been watching Ryan since he's been back in the ball game. And on the first 2 plays, first was a running play, then a passing play. He is favoring that ankle a little bit. There's no question he's all right to play, but it's not going to be like it was before. So one thing you have to do as a good player, you have to be able to adjust to some pain as you go along.
First down and 10 from the 38-yard line. Shotgun, give it to Black. Black on a little delay, finds not much. Right about the line of scrimmage. It looked for a moment that he was going to get away, but Weldon Ford, who's flying all over the place with help from Dan Juan McGee, stop him before he can crank it up. Those Bruin linebackers are really moving around, aren't they?
Keith, this defense is a unique defense. It's like a 3-3-5. Rocky Long, the defensive coordinator, used it at Oregon State and took it down to UCLA when he went down there last year.
Bob Delito hired him, he said, because he wanted an aggressive defense, and he's got it. This is Matt Washington trying to cut it back into the middle on a wide receiver screen, but there was no blocking to help him, and so the gain is minimal, like about 3 yards.
There's Rocky. Rocky, one of the unique things is he has all 11 defensive people on the field look over to get the signal. They're all looking. Look at him. They don't huddle, and the reason they do that is so he can wait and see what the other team situation is going to be. If you bring in 4 wide receivers, he's going to call something for that, so you don't have to huddle defensively.
Down the middle, the pass is completed. And it's first down, Washington State at the UCLA 32-yard line. It's Love Jefferson, the tight end, making his first reception.
First is a key word, Keith. He hasn't caught many passes in his career, but it's a big completion for Ryan Leaf to get back in the flow of this ball game. He's been out on the sidelines. He's been hurt a little bit, and that completion to the tight end that doesn't catch many balls is big for Washington State.
Jefferson from Garden Grove, California, a junior, 6'2" and 255, and judging from that, he can move. So it's first down. Call it on the 33-yard line now of UCLA.
Look at that, only 2 defensive linemen now.
This is Michael Black. And he got some movement, some surge from the left side of that offensive line, and he puts it down on the 25. That's a gain of 8 yards. Larry Atkins, safety, made the tackle, but Rainville and McIndoe and the center, Harrison, gave him some room to run.
This Cougar defense, Keith, it'll make you look bad sometimes, but you can get some big plays on them also.
Second down, long 2. Leaf getting some pressure, tries to run away from it, gets the pass away, and it is incomplete. He's put on his back. Number 99, Kenyon Coleman.
Number 20, Love Jefferson, the intended receiver on the pass.
Coleman is a true freshman playing in his first game for UCLA. You could see Ryan Leaf spinning, not being able to move very well, but they need some big defensive linemen, and they're hoping that Coleman can come in. He's 254 pounds now as a freshman. I'm thinking he's going to put on some weight through his career.
Well, it's third down and still a long 2. They run Black. He's got the first down. Inside the 20, pounding along to about the 17. So he moved the stack and got the first down. Here's another football player that's got to make a statement this year if he wants to continue his career too. He's a youngster who's overcome a lot of problems in his life, but they say he has had a terrific fall, and they think he's going to have a great season.
Gained over 1,000 yards last year. In fact, gained over 200 yards against California.
Cougars have called a timeout. They have 1 remaining. Clock stops at 11:14 to play in the ball game, with UCLA leading 14-3. Back at Martin Stadium, Washington State University, UCLA leading 14-3 in this Pac-10 opener, the earliest in the history of the conference between UCLA and Washington State, or anybody else for that matter. Now let's see if Leaf has sorted out this UCLA defensive puzzle. And he hands the ball to Black. He's got daylight. He scores! That's what an overly aggressive defense can do for you. Penalty flags are flying, but I think that's for excessive celebration as the Cougars rejoice in the touchdown. Let's see whether or not it comes back.
If it's on the touchdown, the penalty goes on the extra point.
Touchdown's good. Unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown, be marked off on the try, 15 yards.
It's a new rule this year, and it really comes into play because now instead of having a chip shot for an extra point, this is going to be like a field goal and a long one.
The excessive celebration fits into that generic category of unsportsmanlike conduct.
What is this?
35 yards.
35-yarder.
Yep. So Ryan Lindell, the sophomore from Vancouver, boy, he's got a big leg. And he knocked it all the way into the seats. And it's now a 14-10 ball game.
A lot of movement, a lot of motion in this offense. They spread the receivers out, bring this receiver across the formation. That draws the safety back this way. Here's Black. He's going to start, and then he's going to cut it all the way back against the grain.
Chris Jackson up at the top of the picture gets a block up there, just enough. Wasn't really a block as much as a screen, but it was enough.
Exactly, and then Black did a nice job. I mean, spread them out.
20.
Washington State offensive line compared to UCLA's defensive front, there is a sizable height and weight difference. When you get inside the 20, your quarterback's limping around. This is the time you've got to try to go toe-to-toe. Now, Washington State is not the kind of offense that is going to do that throughout the whole ball game. They're not going to play the Big Ten smash mouth kind of football. But in these kind of circumstances, you really got to go after UCLA's defense and make them hold their ground a little bit.
Cougars go 70 yards in 9 plays, use 3 minutes and 46 seconds, 17-yard touchdown by Black. Last year, the longest possession at one time by the Cougars was 6 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, they don't fool around.
That kick is popped up again at about the 8-yard line and returned out to the 20-21. Jimmy McElroy, the junior or the senior out of Los Angeles. Here's the senior, John Saunders.
Grad student Keith, it's time now for the Burger King update. Miami against Baylor. Ryan Clement, they expect him to have a big year at Miami, and here he hooks up 6 yards with Carlo Joseph, takes it in for the first touchdown pass of the season for the Canes, and right now they are rolling at Baylor 21-0. Keith.
Put that Masters in your pocket a long time ago. 21-yard line, first down for UCLA. Cade McNown getting a little competition from the home crowd. Turns, gives it. It's Hicks. Hicks is 230 pounds, so he's not easy. He's out to the 25-yard line before Dwayne Stewart helps get him on the ground.
But Hicks is feeling good, Keith. He's already over 110 yards rushing in this game. He rushed for more than 100 yards last year against the Cougars, and that gives you a good feeling.
7 carries, 117 yards to be precisely, and of course he scored both the UCLA touchdowns here in the first half. He's got 31 career touchdowns. On second down and 6. Well, if the wagon's rolling with that big horse pulling it, let him keep on pulling it. And he's up to about the 30 on the carry, and here's Swanigan.
Well, Keith, we keep talking about Skip Hicks. You know, he's the kind of back who does a good job for you, but seemingly gets not a lot of respect. He was never Player of the Week in the Pac-10 last year, yet he scored 17 touchdowns. On the all-time touchdown list, rushing touchdowns in the Pac-10, he ranks basically at number 5. There's only been 6 guys better than him in a season, but he still feels, the coach feels, he's got to do better, Keith.
They go back to the power I now and put Cheyenne Caldwell in front of Hicks. Cougars showing blitz as Brandon Moore's right in the middle bouncing around. Now they force McNown into a checkoff. Give the ball to Hicks, and Hicks on a sweep and not get there. Cougars guessed right. They stunted that left side and shut the door, and it'll bring up 4th down.
power and speed for the Cougar defensively. That line is big and tough. The back seven can run.
And you don't gamble down here, not at this point. With 9 minutes to play in the second quarter, they're going to punt that ball out of trouble. And Saylor is in. So that gets the home folks kind of excited and sends Sean Timms back inside the 25-yard line. Washington State short a man. They finally get the 11th on. And the kick is away, and it's a low line drive, and there's a penalty flag back up the field. They took too much time. I think they burned the clock.
You could see Saylor saying, come on, snap it, snap it. He could see the 25-second clock. He wanted the ball to be snapped.
Dead ball foul. Delay the game against the offense, 5 yards.
It's only 5 yards, though, Keith. In a situation like this, you're better off taking the 5 than calling a timeout. A lot of situations like that when you're on offense, you do it too. Instead of taking a valuable timeout, take the 5 yards.
Saylor's got a big leg. Gets more air under this one, gets a good tight spin on the kick, and runs the receiver back inside the 24. But Tim's got a little crack up the middle and almost popped out of there. It's a good return. He's up to about the 43-yard line. So with 8.5 minutes to play in the first half, Cougars get the ball back. All right, it's opportunity time now for Mike Price and his football team. They've got it out on the 43-yard line. First down, they're trailing 14-10. UCLA on the first offensive possession. Skip Hicks ran 92 yards and then stuck it in the end zone, and then they capitalized on a turnover, interception.
Great field position here, Keith.
It's a very good place to start.
Place to try something big.
Leaf getting pursuit. Lets it go. He's got back Washington, and he's defended very, very well by Aaron Rock. Aaron Rock knocked the ball out of the hands of the deep man. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chrysler, exploring the new frontiers of automotive technology. What's new in your world? By State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Circuit City, answers in every department, low prices all over the store. And Chili's Grill and Bar, home of the Big Mouth Burgers. Well, he looked like he was running all right on that play.
Exactly, that's what I'll say. Last play, it tells you that he's moving around pretty well, and also Aaron Rock is having a very good game.
Yes, he is. That ball was right on the money. Here's another one with air under it. To the sidelines, it is completed. It is touchdown, Washington State. Nyan Taylor. Well, just when you say it, right?
Yep.
57 yards on the play, and Washington State goes to the lead.
We told you early on that UCLA defensively is a team of big plays. Huma intercepted earlier. Rock made some great plays. To make big plays for them, now they give up a big play to the Cougars.
David Muir-Holmes, Lindell missed it. Uh-oh. They missed an extra point.
Made it from 35 after the penalty on the last one and missed it this one, the shorter one. Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown. It's just one-on-one, Aaron Rock and Taylor. He's just going to go straight down the field. But watch the quarterback just before, as he's throwing the ball, he's going to get hit. Somebody's at his feet, and he doesn't really have the arm strength, the momentum to step into it. He just throws that ball with his arm. Couldn't step up. He just gets this ball out there right in stride. Taylor has Rock beat. Big plays offensively and defensively. They're going to give up some. Ryan's looking over and says, "Nice call, coach. Nice call." Mike Price, a good relationship. We were talking to Mike yesterday, and he was saying how he's enjoyed working with Ryan Leaf, how much far he's come along. And Ryan had come to the sideline and says, "I want to throw the go." He says, "Throw the out. Throw the out." But I think I can get the up. Throw the out. They have a good relationship, and that Mike Price is one of the reasons why you've seen so many good quarterbacks come out of Washington State.
Big guys from Great Falls, Montana. McElroy and Damian Allen are the deep people now for UCLA, but the Cougars blew the extra point, and it's only a 2-point lead. I mean, a missed extra point in today's marketplace can cost you a lot. High kick deep, back out of play. So they'll come back out to the 20-yard line for a first down. And tonight on ABC starts with an hour of Comedy Family Matters, all new Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Then from ABC News, extraordinary special about the extraordinary things people do to combat violence and drugs. Malik Yoba hosts The Power of One, followed by The Practice tonight on ABC. That was a full chapter in that one. First down from the 20. Cade McNabb takes it to Hicks, keeps it and throws. Pass caught, thrown very well and caught by Jarrell Price, who is in at fullback now for UCLA. He's a sophomore from Sylmar, California.
It's only the third first down for UCLA, and Cade now is 2 of 7 for about 20 yards. UCLA has not had the ball very often. I mean, the most they've had it on any possession is 4 yards for 4 plays. This is their 7th possession. They need to get something going here to get a little momentum.
Ball is on the 28-yard line. Craig Walindi is in at fullback. This is Hicks. And Hicks is close to the 30, but apparently, according to the 2 linesmen coming down to make the mark, they're short.
On the tackle, number 46, Shane Doyle.
Could be third down. They got first down up over there. Now he gets it right. Third and very short. It's about a foot. Fumble. Cougars have it. First down at the UCLA 19-yard line. Dorian Boose came up with a loose football. Big senior defensive end from Tacoma.
Just never got the snap from center. Watch this. Ball went right through his hands. He may have snapped it sooner than McNown was expecting. Because he didn't close his bottom hand on the ball, I think he may have snapped it a little bit too soon. Either McNown may have forgot the snap count, or the center snapped it too soon.
And the ball is marked inside the 20-yard line where it's first down. Washington State on the turnover.
You say, how can the quarterback forget the snap count? I mean, it might have been on one, and he's going hut one, hut two. You know, he may have thought it was on two, so he's just going through the snaps.
Quarterback had possession, first down.
So here's a big opportunity now for Washington State, having missed that extra point. Lead by 2 instead of 3. You've got Taylor going to the top of your picture now as the wideout. Number 45, McWashington to the bottom. And Leaf gives on a reverse. And here comes Timms. Timms can throw the ball and look like he might have wanted to throw it, but he didn't have a handle on it and finally just got a grip on it and took off. And Jason Brown finally ran him down and he picked up almost 10 yards.
Timms is one of the Fab 5 wide receivers, but he's probably the most exciting He was all conference last year as a punt returner, and as you mentioned, Keith, he was ready to throw this ball. Offensive line is not going downfield. Made a nice move there to get around the linebacker.
Pretty good block there by Withrow, too, to keep him alive. So it's second down and a long yard into the corner line here onto the ball. Out of bounds. He caught it, but he was out of bounds. It was Mec Washington who wanted it so much. Penalty against Washington State, ineligible downfield. So they'll back up 5 on that. Well, they make a mistake down in critical area where you don't want to give up 5 yards.
Mike's Cougars last year, the most penalized team in the Pac-10.
Ineligible receiver, downfield on the offense, be a 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
No excuse for that, Keith.
So that ball now comes back out to the 16-yard line, where it'll be second down and 6. They've got to go just across the 10 to get their first down.
I didn't see anybody that was downfield. I just saw a replay. I didn't see anybody downfield on that play.
Leaf gives to Black. Black running hard is inside the 10, and that's a first down. Boy, that's old jawbone football, isn't it?
Well, the Cougars are known for their 3 wide receivers and their quarterbacks and throwing the ball, Keith. But when they spread you out like that, that's when they like to run inside. And Black, as I mentioned, gained over 1,000 yards last year running the football with this offense.
Adam Hawkins checks into the backfield as a running back now. He's in that power position, but Black is the deep man with 80 yards on 13 carries and a touchdown. They've changed the play at the line of scrimmage. They're down to 5 seconds, get it away. Ryan Leaf throws to the corner of the end zone. He's overthrown. The man is interfered with in the end zone. There's a penalty flag called. Chris Jackson was held, and we'll listen to Jim Fogeltantz define it for you. The UCLA corners must feel like they're on a merry-go-round that's reversing directions.
I think I know what you mean there, Hoss. But, you know, when you go against the Cougars and they throw so much, you're going to make some good plays and you're going to get beat now and then. You know, Allen may have saved a touchdown.
Oh, no question. He was open.
Yeah.
That's an automatic first down.
Here's a look at it. Allen is number 20. He thinks it's going to be a slant. Yeah, he's holding on to him. He was beat. He came hard on the slant. It was a good call by Mike Price, a good route. He did the only thing he could do.
It's first and goal.
Those defensive backs are like that.
At the 5-yard line, Leaf turns, gives to Black. Black looking to go around the corner. We'll go down to the 3. Pick up a 2 on the play. And a pretty good defensive play in there by number 35, Larry Atkins. Atkins is the strong safety. He's a big guy, 6'4", 222. Comes from Venice. See, Venice, everybody does a sunbathe in Venice. He lifts weights and plays football. Here's Ronnie.
Hey, Keith, just a note to Bob, it looks like they're doing a lot of check with me, waiting for the defense to set themselves and calling 1 or 2 plays down here at the goal line, Bob.
You call it like toss 38 or 39, and then when you see it, then you just give the direction.
Second and goal from the 3. Black again up the middle. Somebody tackled him high and got enough of him to stop him short of the goal line. So the Bruins aren't yielding easily here. Again, Atkins is involved in the play, but also is Sean Williams, 32. And number 11, Serwanga. Third and goal from a yard out. Look at this. Black's not in there. It's not a touchdown. Yes, it is. They call it touchdown, Washington State. question is, do they go for 2? Probably yes. But Leafs coming out, and the kicker's on the field. That's why I'm up here.
Mike says we're going to score a lot of points. We don't have to get that one back right now.
All right, let's see if Muir gets this one down clean for Lindell. Yep, and Lindell's kick is good. And so at 4:35 to play in the first half, the Cougars go to a 23-14 lead.
What do? A new set of luggage. Your parents in the rearview mirror.
A book that was banned in high school.
A coffee binge at 3 a.m.
A paper on the role of vernacular speech
as it relates to the age of Renaissance.
A wink in a laundromat.
A three-point shot at the buzzer.
Scary words like thesis,
ombudsman,
and paradigm.
A biology lab with real live dead bodies.
5 consecutive snooze alarms.
And a pizza guy that thinks he'll stick around a while.
All have in common.
A 23-14 ball game with 4 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the first half. Washington State having jumped out to the lead. Both teams now have had a turnover and both have cashed them in. Ryan Lindell will kick off. McElroy is deep along with Damian Allen for the white-shirted Bruins. UCLA is in tough next week. They play Tennessee at the Rose Bowl in Los Angeles. I think could be one of the terrific games of the season. 2-yard line for McElroy. And he's out for the 20. So there they'll go to work. Washington State is off next week, and then they'll go south to the Coliseum to play USC the week after the Trojans have tried Florida State. UCLA's preseason stuff, if you will. This, of course, is not a preseason, but they play Washington State here, then they play Tennessee, and then they go to Texas.
Yeah.
So that's tough stuff.
3 pretty good quarterbacks are playing right out of the box.
I guarantee you. Woo. On first down, McNown throws to the sidelines, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Danny Farmer. First time today Farmer has seen the ball. Daddy George was a fine football player at UCLA, and I guess went on to the Bears and played in the NFL.
And young Dan here is a pretty good volleyball player, isn't he?
All-American. Second down and 10.
He's really come along as a receiver that Bob Toledo was telling us last night.
Number 87. Back goes McNown again. Looks. And he's looking for McElroy. Lets it go. He's out there, but it is incomplete. He was between defenders. And though McNown had a lot of time, the Cougars had to play well defended because Dwayne Stewart and D. Morincola were running right with him. Morincola has a bad ankle himself. He twisted it last Wednesday, I think it was. But he looks all right on that play. Of course, the adrenaline gets coursing through the body, you know, and it gets, when you're that young and strong, you don't notice it so much.
That's for sure. You heal a lot quicker than you do. A little older in life.
Tell me about it. Third down and 10 from the 20. Out of the shotgun now. McNown with time. Now he's going to take off. He's committed to the run now. Oh my goodness, he paid a price for it. As number 34, Steve Gleason, came across and hit him just as hard as he could. And it's very close to a first down. But like I said, McNown spent the summer in the weight room, and he's a big, tough kid at 215 pounds. And it's a first down for UCLA.
It's a big first down, too. Nobody was open downfield, and he was waiting for somebody to separate from the defensive back, and nobody did. This is something that McNown can do. He keeps it alive. Now watch as Gleason comes all the way from the other side of the field. Gleason's a linebacker, and Cade just said, I need a little bit more yardage, and he just made the first down. It's a big play.
That's only the third UCLA first down, believe it or not. Ball is given to Hicks. They lighten the middle, and Hicks is out to the 40, and that's going to be another first down. So UCLA finding a little offensive spark now, with the Cougars leading 23-14 at 3:52 to play in the first half.
This is the 8th possession for UCLA, and they have never had the ball for more than 4 plays in any of those possessions. Of course, they had that one big run by Hicks on the first possession, but they didn't need it for the score.
Farmer's the wide man to the bottom of the picture. That's the tight end, 88-3, moving over. Nobody in the backfield now. McNown stands up close quickly to McElroy. And McElroy is very close to another first down. And so they're finding some holes now in the Cougar defense. One of the things they've done is they've stopped the pressure from the down linemen defensively.
Yeah. Well, they're throwing quickly and getting Cade out of the pocket. UCLA's used to these high-scoring games.
Tyrone Pierce comes in now. That gives UCLA a double tight end alignment. They send McElroy and Farmer wide. 2 tight ends should give them a little more pass protection. And a lot of pass protection here. The ball is thrown right on the numbers to Danny Farmer down on the 31-yard line for another UCLA first down. And here's John Saunders.
Keep coming up on Valvoline Halftime 97. All of the day's scores and highlights, including the wild one between Syracuse and NC State. Plus, we'll take a look at a couple of guys who were juniors a year ago and what they decided. That, of course, Peyton Manning and Orlando Pace. Todd Blackledge will have the story of their decisions. Stick around. It's all coming up on Valvoline Halftime 97. Keith.
Tennessee's playing tonight, too. They play Texas Tech in Knoxville.
I was glad to see Peyton come back. I think a lot of people were.
Wants to beat Florida. First down and 10 from the 31. Double reverse. McElroy back to McNown. And he gets the pass away, and it's incomplete, and it didn't work. And Danny Farmer was the man downfield for whom the pass was intended, and he never saw the ball. If he had thrown it down there, he would never have seen it either, because there were 4 Cougars with him.
Well, it's a double reverse, and Bob Toledo is famous for loving the gadgets or gimmick plays. And this one's not going to work. It's going to be a reverse. Hands it, there's a reverse, and then pitch it back to the top of your screen now as a receiver. Receiving's covered up there at the top of the screen. Cade just gets rid of it.
Bender and Nelson ran out the clock on him. It's 2nd down and 10.
Here they come.
Trying to set up the screen. Oh, what a play that was. What a play by number 22, Brandon Moore.
Kid, I like this kid, Brandon Moore. He's an outside linebacker. He's got a lot of quickness, a lot of speed. 2nd in tackles on this team last year.
He's a senior from Carson, California. Third and 10. Here they come again. Whistles and flags. Bruins may have moved. And I see that big guy coming up the middle on a blitz. It's easy to flinch.
False start on the offense. 5 yards. Go 3rd down.
So it's 3rd and 15.
Keith, this is where you got to keep your poise as an offensive lineman. If these defensive backs trying to get up there, watch these guys as they're going to come up and threaten the line of scrimmage. As an offensive lineman, you got to poise. The quarterback has to control the line of scrimmage.
That's Farmer in motion. McNown's pass is away to Hicks, and Hicks is caught and brought down, and that's a good play by the defender for Washington State, Steve Gleason. Gleason, who's a 215-pound sophomore out of Spokane, and he saw the play evolving. There was nobody over there behind Hicks. I mean, he had big play all over the place, but Gleason was fast enough to run him down.
He was, and he's a linebacker. So we're talking about the speed. They got speed at linebackers in the defense secondary.
And we're inside 2 minutes now with the Cougars leading by 9, 23-14. In to punt is Chris Saylor. his 5th of the day, 44, 56, 45, and 51.
This could be a trick play here.
It's caught by the Cougars. One of the big linemen up front makes the catch. He's still going and going and going. It is number 87.
Bob Meyer, the defensive lineman, picked that ball up and just would not allow anybody to tackle him.
Dorian Bruce was the man that blocked the kick, and number 9 down to the 19-yard line. Meyer goes rumbling.
Watch over here as he's going to get in and make the block. Saylor is just going to try to pooch this ball. Not much of a block there as Bruce is just too big. And he won't go down. He sees stardom. He sees stars. That's a mistake. Special teams, UCLA last year. Now cropping up in a different area.
They moved the ball back to the 22-yard line, so they apparently ruled him down somewhere around the 22. I didn't see him touch the ground, but I guess he did. Ball is thrown out to the side, thrown too high, and Kevin McKenzie couldn't haul it down. Or did he? I didn't think he made the catch.
Instead of the lateral, number 9, Kevin McKenzie.
Bob Toledo frustrated, I'm sure. We asked him last night about the special teams. Here it is right here. Last year, UCLA, they were last in punt returns, last in kickoff return coverage, 8th in kickoff returns, and here today, they had a punt blocked.
That play that I just messed up, they ruled it a lateral. The ball was thrown absolutely sideways, so it's a good thing that they were alert enough to keep it. And he got too much air under it. But he had, if the ball's down where he can catch the ball, he had the people in front of him to make the big play.
Yeah.
So the ball is back on the misplay to about the 29-yard line, where it is second down and about 17.
It's Bill Doba there, the defensive coordinator, kind of having some fun. You had some fun, Keith, coming back to Washington State?
Been very pleasant.
Been very special, like a homecoming, huh?
Yep. Very nice. Place is different though than when I was here. Believe me.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's kind of.
They've paved the corral.
Look at this. We dug into the scrapbook. Found this shot of you in the left side. Was it your first job here on campus?
I was a disc jockey.
That was a college radio station. Is that the one when they called you Clearwater Clem?
No, that was somewhere else.
The other shot there was your lovely wife Turianne and you, of course.
Second down, and the ball, Leaf really took a pop that time. I mean, they came after him, sold out completely, and Atkins got a piece of him, turned him upside down, and the play is incomplete. Here's Lynn Swan.
Well, Keith, just a moment to just show you how big you are up here in Pullman. You made the front page of the cover, and they were distributing these buttons at a little banquet that you attended earlier this week that was quite successful. Whoa, Nelly.
I hope they sold them.
I'm going to keep this one, Keith. Go on my own personal scrapbook.
We also got a tour over at the Alumni Center and the little great hall over there that you helped fund. That was very nice, Keith. It's very highly regarded here, my partner around this neck of the woods.
Leaf looks down the middle and throws. He's got his man open. Touchdown, Cougars. Ryan Taylor. The second touchdown for Taylor. He's tough to handle.
Taylor caught 22 passes last year, only 1 touchdown. He's got 2 here today. I like what Leaf did that time, Keith. He kind of looks off the free safety. He comes back, pedals, looks to his right, and then fires it in.
Lindell for the point. Good. So with Winding down to the closing moments of the first half, the Cougars jumped to a 30-14 lead. They've scored 4 times in the quarter.
Leaf with that quick release gets the ball up. Can't throw it much better than this. He throws it out in front of him.
Damian Allen couldn't handle Taylor. Taylor is 6'1", 187.
Allen's just a redshirt freshman, and Ryan isn't feeling any effects of that sprained ankle that he had earlier in the ball game.
Allen from Ontario, California, and Taylor from Riverside probably ran into each other during their high school days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I doubt it. Let's see. One of them is down a junior and one's a freshman, a redshirt freshman. So Ryan Leaf having a pretty good day as his coach comes over and
drag would have been over.
pats him on the back.
Number 27 will be kicking off.
4 touchdowns in the quarter for Washington State to lead 30-14.
That's the style of this offense. It's explosive, Keith. When you're looking for big plays on every play, you're going to get some.
Lindell just hammered it, knocked all the air out of it. If you're driving in Colfax, you can catch that one.
We came through Colfax when we were driving down from Spokane.
There's still a speed trap?
Yeah, it was. I remember we went very slow.
Sheriff sitting behind the barn over there. Roselia, look out for that. I don't go through Roselia.
It's nice country though, Keith. I've never been up in this neck of the woods.
Good little golf course
really
right along
pretty.
the river over there in Colfax. I used to go play it a lot. All right, first down. At the 20 for the Bruins. They're kind of shocked right now. They need something good to happen for them. And the Cougar defense just jumping all over Skip Hicks on this play. Skip, 230-pounder, Wichita Falls, Texas.
The turnovers, one by, it really hurt UCLA, one by Cade McNabb on a center quarterback exchange, and the other on a block punt late in the second quarter that set up the last touchdown. 2 touchdowns off turnovers have allowed Washington State to really open up a big lead.
Second down and 10. Hicks looking around the right side, trying to find some room, and his legs are taken from under him by Steve Gleason, number 34, and that's going to do it. The clock will run out with Washington State leading UCLA at halftime, 30-14. And the home folks are rejoicing in the Palouse country.
Valvoline Halftime 97, brought to you by Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. People who know use Valvoline. From our New York studios, John Saunders and Todd Blackledge.
Washington State with a 30-14 lead over UCLA at halftime. Should be a great second half right now. Right to the scores and highlights, beginning with a wild one under the dome in Syracuse. NC State was not even supposed to be in this game, but it went to overtime. Donovan McNabb with his second touchdown pass of the day. This one to Roland Williams. And Syracuse gets a 7-point lead in overtime. Now, Paul Pasquale only wants timeout here after an NC State score. Why? Because he sees the Wolfpack line up for a 2-point conversion. Jamie Barnett hits Torrey Holt, and they have the victory by 1 in Syracuse. The 4th straight year Syracuse has lost their home opener, the last 3 to teams from the Carolinas. Now, Mike O'Kane with the gutsy call, and we wondered why.
I felt like that we had Syracuse on their heels a little bit, that the crowd was in it, and all of a sudden we scored. We took the crowd out of it. They were rocking a little bit there, back on their heels, and I felt like that was the time to stick the knife in the throat, and fortunately it worked out for us.
Gutsy might be an understatement in this one.
Really was, but because they changed the overtime rule, it put the 2-point play back in to college football, and they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They brought the team on. It caught Syracuse by surprise, and on the road, a very gutsy call.
But he didn't have to do it until after the second one. Would you have done it?
No, I wouldn't have. I'd have kept playing overtime.
I think everybody would have. Houston against Alabama. Mike DuBose, his debut as the head coach of the Crimson Tide, in for Gene Stallings. And he saw his quarterback, Freddie Kitchens, have a pretty good day here. Rod Rutledge, though, with a great one-handed grab, 29 yards on the touchdown. Alabama with their second touchdown of the day. They roll 42-17 is the final there. Curtis Alexander and Sean Alexander subbing for Dennis Riddle, 184 yards on the ground. Riddle, of course, suspended. Akron blown out by Nebraska, 59-14. Now, Nebraska playing this game because it was supposed to be a game against Arkansas, so a replacement game, if you will. But why is Akron playing this game?
Well, only one reason. I mean, money. That's the only reason Akron would play a game like this. But it's a terrible game for them because this isn't like playing Florida or Tennessee where they're going to throw the ball all over the place and beat you because of their speed. This is a game against Nebraska. They're going to pound you into the ground. Their first team, second team, third team. It's a game you stand to lose big on the scoreboard and also get your team beat up.
You're demoralized, and it hurts as well. Miami against Baylor, and this one is Miami tries to get back to the upper echelons of college football. Baylor head coach Dave Roberts, first game as the Baylor head coach. James scores on a 5-yard touchdown run here, and Miami scored their first 3 touchdowns of this game. Right now, Baylor gets one on the board, 21-7 the score there. Virginia Tech, 21 of their last 45 touchdowns been scored by the defense or special teams. They blow out Rutgers 59-19. Marshall against West Virginia. Back to 1A for Randy Moss and for Marshall as well. Chad Pennington had a good day, but it's easy when you can toss it to this guy. Randy Moss, 25 yards, his second touchdown of the day. And then Chad Pennington again, this time picked off by Nate Terry, his second of the game. And it sets up Amos Zaraway, who takes it in. Zaraway with 3 touchdowns and 174 yards on the ground. Marshall, a valiant effort, but they lose it. But Randy Moss, another terrific day.
Well, the question was, does Marshall belong in Division I? Yes. Is Randy Moss the real deal? Yes, also. 225 yards of total offense. He is a quality player.
And 16 straight games with at least a touchdown reception, or at least a touchdown, rather. Idaho against Air Force. Air Force up 14-10. Spanky Gilliam with a touchdown run there. Georgia blowing out Arkansas State 38-7. Mike Bobo, 2 touchdown passes and a touchdown run. Arkansas State with only 24 yards on the ground. Tim Couch, what a coming out party today in his second year at Kentucky. 4 touchdown passes and a school record 398 yards.
Yeah, this is why they brought Hal Mummy in. They said, they promised, Couch, you stay, we'll throw the ball. 50 attempts today. They only averaged 118 yards a game passing all of last season.
36 of 50 for Kentucky. Football win, number 500. Got a ways to go to catch the basketball team. Memphis and Mississippi State. Bernard Ode, 65-yard touchdown pass to P.T. Jones in this one. Memphis has a 10-3 lead. Elsewhere, Miami and Ball State in the MAC. Travis Prentice has 2 touchdown runs there. Southwestern Louisiana against Pittsburgh. Pitt up by 4, 17-13. Pete Gonzalez has 2 touchdown passes. And Colorado State leads Nevada 21-10. Damian Washington with 2 touchdown runs. Stick around. We'll continue with more of Valvoline Halftime 97 in just a moment. Ryan Leaf with a terrific first half. Washington State with a 30-14 lead over UCLA.
Time I hear that, I feel like there's an earthquake coming. Our score here in Pullman, Washington. Washington State Cougars 30 and the UCLA Bruins 14. And before your spirits go soaring off into the sky-high heavens, let me remind you that UCLA was down 24-0 to USC in their last game last season. And Mike Price full well knows the danger of them, as he has had his council and conference with his players and his quarterback in particular, Ryan Leaf, who sustained a rather severely sprained ankle in the first half, but came back to lead the charge in the second quarter. That produced 4 touchdowns. We'll show you some of the highlights of Mr. Leaf. As soon as we get the football in play, the Cougars will receive it to start the second half. Chris Saylor will kick it off for UCLA. Nyan Taylor, who had 2 touchdowns in the first half, and Kevin McKenzie are the deep people for Washington State. Bob Toledo a bit beleaguered at the moment.
Jay, I'm right here.
And here's the kick. Skittering down. It goes to McKenzie. He's trying to get around the corner, and he dropped the ball, and UCLA's got it. It'll be Bruins football at the Washington State 18-yard line, as Duval Hicks was right there to get it. And so McKenzie, trying to make something happen, comes up with a turnover.
It's a second mistake for McKenzie today. You remember earlier in the end zone, he dropped the touchdown pass. Now he's going to drop a kickoff return that really, this is exactly what Mike Price doesn't want to do. You're on top of him 30-14. Don't give him any momentum. First on the kickoff return, UCLA's back in business.
Absolutely, a touchdown in the hunt.
Yeah,
right quick.
Don't help him.
So Cade McNown with an opportunity gives to Hicks, and Skip Hicks with no place to go is taken down just inside the 20. He's going to lose about a yard, and here's Swanee.
Well, Keith, I just want to reiterate what you guys were both saying because it came out of the mouth of Mike Price. He said, we're protecting well and stopping UCLA's a big play, but in the second half, we got to play like it's 0-0 and play with much more discipline. He said, I remember how they came back against USC. We want to play a better second half than the first half, Keith.
They don't need any help. Second down, a long 11 as Cade McNown looks and has to run for his life, and now throws short to his tight end Grebe, and that'll get the football down inside the 10-yard line, close to the 8 and close to a first down.
Nice play, Cade McNown. Nobody was open initially, kept it alive a little bit, then found somebody. First half comparisons, the two quarterbacks, McNown not having such a good time. Ryan Leaf, 157 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he was really the difference in that first half throwing the football.
Washington State took control of the line of scrimmage in that second quarter. Here they've got the defense has got to stand up and reassert itself, try to keep the Bruins out of the end zone. If the Cougars get out of here with Bruins scoring only 3, it'll be a win in this skirmish. It's just short. About the distance between your thumb and forefinger.
This was probably, Keith, going to be a 4-down situation. If they don't make it on this third down, I would think they would go for it.
I would too.
And if in knowing that, then the play call on here might be just run for it and then run it again.
Remember the missed extra point, though.
Yeah, I remember that. Long time ago and a lot of points.
That's right.
It should have been 31-14 instead of 30. Should have been down by 17 instead of 16. But got to get this first down.
All right, McNown keeps it and gets the first down, just surging in behind the center. Sean Stewart, Andy Myers, and Sean Gully. First and goal for the Bruins.
Keith, what you said earlier is what I'm sure Bob Toledo reminded these guys at halftime. Hey, the last game we played was against USC. We came back from a big deficit and won. We can do the same thing here.
First and goal from the Washington State 7. For the Bruins. They've got McElroy at tailback. Now they send him out of there, and they send Hicks with him, and there's nobody in the backfield, and McNown's got 4 pass catchers out there. Keeps it on a quarterback draw, and will get down just inside the 3.
Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line and you empty the backfield, look for a quarterback draw.
Shane Doyle did and got the tackle, but McNown got 5 yards.
Ball's now at the 2-yard line. It's second and goal for UCLA.
The ball is short of the 2. It's about between the hash marks, so it's about 2.5.
Got to tie your shoe, Cade.
Option to Hicks, and he'll make it.
Nice play by Cade McNown. He drew the end in, pitched it back to Hicks, one-on-one on the corner.
Brandon Moore was almost held by Cheyenne Caldwell, but Cheyenne got just enough of him to knock him off stride, and Hicks got into the corner. And the Bruins cash in the turnover.
2 minutes and 10 seconds. The extra point game now by
Watch number 22. I think you're right, Keith. He's going to get held just a little right there. See it? Yep. And that's what Moore was complaining about.
Saylor to hold it, and Spicula holds it, and Saylor kicks it and hooks it through. And so now all of a sudden it's a different looking circumstance. Only a 9-point lead. Skip Hicks has scored all 3 of the Bruins touchdowns, having a big day. They cash in the turnover by Washington State on the kickoff and close to 30-21. And now Saylor will kick it away for the Bruins. Remember that Bob Toledo was a coach. He loves tricks. Onside? No. Just knock it out of town. So Ryan Leaf and company comes trotting on the field in the second quarter. The Cougars had 4 touchdowns, and the big quarterback was the man in the middle of all of them.
157 yards, 2 touchdowns the first half. From behind the defense, watch as he looks away and then throws back. Down the sideline, Taylor for the first of his 2 touchdowns. Watch as Ryan looks this way. And then he's going to step up and throw the other way. He was trying to pull the free safety away from where he was going to throw it. Taylor with a second touchdown.
And we come back to the field now for the first offensive play of the second half for Washington State. They give it to Michael Black. Black sliding around behind the line of scrimmage and is going to lose 2 yards. UCLA all jacked up now, having gotten the turnover and having stuck it in the end zone, and they're swarming. And the Cougars, they were stunned by what happened to them at the outset of the ball game. Now they've got to react here.
Well, it was a special teams mistake and a recovery. You know, special teams early in the season, Keith, can really turn games around.
Absolutely. Bruins have got 5 people on the front right now, and Leafs passes away. It is thrown low to Mac Washington. We'll get a little bit out of it, get it up to around the 22 before he's shoved out of bounds.
Gain of 3 yards.
It's a big third down here, Keith, for UCLA. If they can stop them and get the ball right back for their offense, that would be a big thing coming out second half.
Yes, it will. Black goes out.
Rocky talking to his defensive players. They're all looking over there. They look at him. They're all looking for the signal. Everybody reads the defense. Klein's not looking. He's going to get it from somebody else.
Somebody needs some equipment change here. They send 71 out of the ball game. Corey Withrow, the official, saw something and sent him to the sideline. So he needs some equipment repair. And it's 3rd down and 8 now. Big play for the Bruin defense. Out of the shotgun, Leafs pass, quick pop, good in the middle. Pass is going to get the first down and then some. Running away from everybody is Chris Jackson. Jackson's on his way. He's got a touchdown. There are no flags. A heck of a run by Chris Jackson. 78 yards. That's poor secondary play by UCLA to let a guy run through you like that. But still a great effort by Jackson.
Well, it's just speed at the wide receiver spot, Keith. They've got 5 guys. They're interchangeable. Jackson didn't even start the ball game, and here he makes a big play off of a wide receiver screen pass.
So there's the answer. And the extra point try by Lindell is good. And so, just like that, they have come back to reassume the 16-point lead.
So wide receiver screen, the wide receiver just comes down very flat. Tackle should have been made right there. You got to make the play. You got to tackle. Speed.
That's a pretty good block by McKenzie. It almost got him in the back.
He didn't even need
from the side.
McKenzie didn't need to throw that block.
Damn! Old lineman, great job, fellas. Great job. Keep that up. Keep that up.
Yeah, Ryan likes that. You throw a short little pass, and your receiver runs a long way. But that's what you have, guys making plays, Keith.
Yep.
And the UCLA defensive back didn't make the play, didn't make the tackle.
For UCLA. Here we go.
All right, the deep people for the Bruins. McElroy. and Damian Allen. Mendel kicks this one. He got all of that one. And there'll be no return. They'll come out to the 20 for a first down.
Talk about UCLA defensively, Keith. Last year they allowed 15 touchdowns of 17 yards or more, and today they've already allowed 4 touchdowns. And some of those were a heck of a lot longer than 17 yards. Big play defense, we called it. They take it away, they also give some up.
So at 11:45 to go in the third quarter, 37-21, and the Bruins have their second possession at their own 20. Back down to throw. Lets it go to the side. It is good to McElroy, turning back inside and shoved out at the 36-yard line for a first down. And here's
Well, Keith, just to make sure everybody at home understands that Bob Toledo is acutely aware of the problems he's having, because at the end of the first half, he came out and said what they wanted to do in the second half was not to miss so many tackles. And what happens? They miss tackle and allow the big play. He says in order to get back in this ball game, they have to win on first down so that they're not putting their offense in a third long situation that they weren't capitalizing on, that weren't taking advantage of, Bob.
Len, the corners, excuse me, Keith, go ahead.
That's Hicks carrying for 8 yards.
I was just going to say that the corners for UCLA are small. I mean, Guidry is 5'10", 169. Allen, who's been in there some, is 5'9", 163. So these guys aren't real big trying to tackle these receivers for the Cougars.
I agree with you, Bob. Not big, but they had opportunities there if they just wrapped them up. If you can't get the whole guy, get a leg and let the other guy come over, but they're not doing that.
Long 2 for the Bruins on second down. McNown still got it. Throws underneath. All by himself. The tight end. And he'll pick up the first down up at midfield. Gabe Trishan, big sophomore.
Looks like he shook up a little bit.
First down for UCLA.
So the Bruins move it over to the Cougar 49, and the offense is moving the ball here in the second half.
Both teams have been very opportunistic, Keith. Both teams have scored 2 touchdowns off of the other team's mistakes.
This is Hicks. Power sweep, low, they miss a tackle, and he turns it into a first down at the Washington State 36-yard line. Dwayne Stewart brought him down.
Morincola on that side, the corner. He didn't want any part of Skip Hicks coming around the corner. Here comes Hicks, got some good blocking. Morincola now just going to give it the old alley-oop. Whoa!
Well, it's 190 against 230.
There's some good blocking by that line on UCLA.
First down from the Washington State 36. McDowell throws it quickly to the sidelines, and here again it's complete. It is caught by Eric Scott. And he's going to put it at the 25, and that's another UCLA first down. The possession started back on their 20, and the drive has been very crisp so far. Washington State not able to manifest any pressure on McNown in this possession.
It's first and 10.
High formation, Hicks deep. Hicks has got it right up the middle. He's a big back. And they take him down, but he's picked up 8 yards, and when you're running for 8 yards on first down, you're going to move the chain.
Yes. Keith, UCLA is not out of this game. They're down 16 points, but offensively, I mean, they've got the firepower to score 16, 20 more points in this game. It's a matter of whether their defense can slow down the Cougars.
Hicks again. Penalty flags. May have a hold coming here as Hicks is knocked down just short of the 15-yard line.
Flag on the play on the 19-yard line.
Holding against UCLA, so they shoot themselves in the foot. Here's John Saunders.
Brent, it's time for the Burger King play of the day, and it has to go to this one. Yeah, Paul Pasqualoni wants a timeout. Why? Because he sees Michael Cain's squad going for a 2-point conversion in the first overtime. Barnett to Torrey Holt. They get it. They gamble and come off with the victory, the 4th consecutive home opening loss for Syracuse. Right now, let's take it back to you, Keith.
Thank you, John. The ball comes back to the 29-yard line where it is second down now. 14, that wound up a 12-yard holding penalty. It spotted a foul penalty, so it's 12 yards. And it'll be second down and 14. Down back, gets some pressure here, gets it away, and it's incomplete out of bounds.
Threw it too late. You can't wait that long to throw it.
McElroy was over there, pretty well covered. So it'll be third down and 14 for the Bruins. Durell Price comes into the backfield. Number 8, good receiver. McNown looking it over. He's in the shotgun. 3 wideouts. Looks at Price. Now they flush him. He gets a pass away, and it is incomplete in the end zone. That was almost a very risky, poor play by Torrey Holloman. Holloman, the UCLA man, was laying on his back in the end zone. Holloman reached up, caught the ball, fell off his fingers, and if the UCLA receiver had been more alert, he could have caught it for a touchdown.
Right.
Knock it down. Or let it go over his head.
Receiver on that side, McElroy, slipped initially, Keith. He was going to McElroy, and he slipped.
46-yard field goal try now on 4th down from Chris Saylor, his first collegiate field goal attempt. And it is no good. Remember, Bjorn Merton was the All-American place kicker, and Saylor is now doing both jobs, and he misses from 46. ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Ford Taurus, more of what America wants in an automobile. By Nike. And by National Car Rental, so what are you waiting for? Let's go. Inside, Michael Black. Nothing. Wrestled right down at the line of scrimmage, and the man who got the most of it was number 57, Danwan McGee. Brian Wilmer playing that linebacking position, number 53. Brian is going to finish up his master's degree work in higher education this coming June. So is Eric Scott getting his master's. So 5th-year seniors are taking advantage of the educational circumstances. Second down, 14. Leafs pass. Caught. It's Taylor. A feather soft pass that was lofted right onto the hands of 9 Taylor, running at full speed.
Looks down the middle of the field, sets up, lots of arm, just kind of lays it up outside. Taylor just runs by Guidry. Guidry, the best corner on this UCLA team. They're beating the corners, Keith, just without, without much effort. It seems they just run right by him.
Here comes Black to the corner. Leaf now is 11 of 21 for 287 yards in the ball game. He's got 3 touchdowns.
Here's a look at the Cougars' last 5 possessions. 4 of those, the top 4 were in the first half. And the last one was the first one in the second half.
That last pass was absolutely
perfect.
As good as you can see.
Perfect throw. Good route by Taylor.
Taylor with 4 catches for 145 yards now and 2 touchdowns. And it's second down and 8. burn the clock? Nope. Something happened before the ball was snapped. He was changing his play at the line of scrimmage.
You're exactly right. He saw something that he wanted to move around.
Prior to snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty.
That'll make it 2nd down and 13.
I really enjoyed talking with Mike Price yesterday, Keith. You can see and understand why his quarterbacks are so successful. He thinks right along with them. He's a step ahead of them, really.
He's a good football coach.
A good quarterback coach, good tutor.
Good guy. I enjoy being with him. Just a very pleasant man. Leaf getting some pressures, passes away. Pass is completed to McKenzie, and he's got to handle the ball, and he does. He put it away just in time. And they'll be still looking at 3rd down and about 11. So next week, America's biggest road show rolls along with the day-night doubleheader. We've got all kinds of live regional action at 3:30 Eastern, including Tennessee and UCLA in the Rose Bowl. And then at 8 o'clock in the evening hours of the West, Bobby Bowden and the Florida State Seminoles against John Robinson and the Southern California Trojans. The drums will be thumping in Los Angeles.
Interested to see that game.
Yeah, a lot to it.
Yep.
Leaf gets it off down the middle. Pass it dropped by Sean Timms. Right on his hands, but it was a bullet, and Timms may have hurt himself a bit, getting up very tenderly.
May have hurt his pride there.
May have a cramp.
Well, he dropped the football. You know, that's.
Oh, stop it! Your quarterbacks.
Well, Ryan Leaf sprained his ankle a little bit early. Went out. Nothing wrong with Ryan's ankle.
Yeah, this is, I think, looks like a cramp. And you're right. He ran a hard route and was in there, and Leaf hit him right on the hand with the ball.
I know.
He just didn't come up with it.
12 of 23, 287 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's a good opening day, but he has been helped by some very good receivers, Timms included.
They're trying to sort out what it is that's bothering Sean. Here's Swanee.
Well, Keith, on the Washington State sideline, a lot of the players have been taking more Gatorade. You see them on the sideline stretching out their calves and their hamstrings because they're cramping up a little bit. It's been in the mid to upper 80s all afternoon long. Now, I don't know whether that's a cramp or not. For Timms, he grabbed it. It could be hamstring. The trainers will take him on the sideline. I'll let you know specifically what it is for him.
I can see across the way at the Beasley Coliseum that the temperature over there is 85. It's hotter than that down below. Long field goal try is up by Lindell, and he missed it. A 45-yarder, and it slides away beyond the upright, and the score remains 37-21. (37-21). Bruins come up to the ball, and they've got Jermaine Lewis now in the backfield. It's very warm down there, and I would imagine a lot of people are starting to have some trouble with the heat. Here's McNown throwing hard and drilling the ball onto the hands of the receiver, and Danny Farmer pulls it in for a first down up near the 40-yard line. The Home Depot Chalk Talk. Here's some specifics about Mike Price. We were talking about the quarterbacks he's produced. Jack Thompson, Drew Bledsoe, Ryan Leaf is right now 7, but if he stays the full 4 years, it seems almost sure that he is in a position where he could become the all-timer in yardage gain. So it's first down for the Bruins at their own 40, and McNown looking to throw it again, has some protection and breaks outside and picks up 5-6 yards on the carry as Gleason makes the tackle for Washington State. Here is Drew Bledsoe, who played for Mike Price here at Washington State, and his comments on having played for the coach.
Well, he just is very intelligent in the way that he presents the passing game to a young quarterback, and he doesn't give you more than you can handle. He prepares you to be successful and allows you to go out and be successful even at a young age when you don't necessarily know too much, and then brings you along after that.
Drew, of course, came from Walla Walla, played here, and then off to the New England Patriots. Was in the Super Bowl last year. 2nd down and 4. Handoff goes to Keith Brown, a fresh set of legs in the ball game. He can't break loose, and they'll be looking at 3rd down and about 2. At number 25, Dwayne Stewart, the strong safety, has had his hat involved in a lot of plays today, and he was right there again.
He was one of the leading tacklers on that defense of last year, Keith. They've got some good players defensively, and as I mentioned, experience and quickness. This Washington State team overall is very impressive.
3rd down and 2 with Lewis back into the game at running back. And McNown holding on to it, trying to make something happen. Pressure coming. He gets the pass away, and it is incomplete. It's a miracle he got the pass away, and it was intended for Danny Farmer. He almost came up with it, but not quite.
Morincola made a nice play, too, because here's Boos, defensive end. We haven't said much about him except for that block punt. Should have made this play. Cade gets the ball off right on target, but Morincola makes a nice bat-away, knockdown.
It's 4th down and 2, and the Bruins are going for it. 4th down and 2 with 4:53 to play in the 3rd quarter, and the ball on their own 48-yard line.
They try to pull him off sides here, Keith.
Take a long count.
Yeah.
He got it off just before the snap, and he got his 1st down. McNown did it himself.
You're right. McNown did it himself. He came up, saw the defense, checked to the option, tried to pull him off, couldn't do it, and then picked it up himself.
Sean Stewart, the center, gets up hobbling.
Yeah, don't pitch it. When you only have a couple of yards and you've got an opening, just go for it yourself.
Stewart guts it out, stays in. 1st down Bruins, Washington State 48. McNown lets it go. That's a play that's worked all day for him. McElroy out here. The Washington State defender slipped and fell out of the play. They had to come back. Morincola was the man who slipped and was not involved until he had regained his balance. By then the pass was complete, and they're moving the chains on him. He's playing with a very sore ankle himself, sprained.
This is McNown's 21st start, Keith. We mentioned at the opening that he has started all 3 years except for the first 3 ball games of his freshman year, so he should be getting comfortable in this offense.
From the 33, pitch it back to Darrell Price, who wants to let it go downfield and overthrows McElroy. It was a half a step too long.
Well, this is one of the trick plays. They had it called at the right time. They had it there. The execution just wasn't there. Right of your screen. Top right, see the receiver, McElroy. Just throw it up in the air, give him a lot of air to run underneath it. I think he should have come down with that play.
Close.
Could he catch this one? I think you got to catch that one.
Another quarterback talking.
Well, I mean, it was within reach of his hands. I'm sure Len would agree with me.
Ray Jackson was out of the play, the defender. Here's McNown rolling to his right, throwing with that left hand. Pass is completed, and it'll pick up 6 yards to Rodney Lee. So we're getting a lot of new people now here in the 3rd quarter on a hot afternoon in Pullman, Washington. 37-21, Washington State leads. Cougar offense is getting a good long rest as UCLA has possessed the ball for some time here.
Well, this is what they normally do, Keith. They have led the Pac-10 in time of possession. As you take a look at Tennessee coming up tonight with Texas Tech.
Third down, long 3. McNown on an option, keeps it, breaks it, and gets a first down. He's down to the 17, maybe 16-yard line. First and 10, UCLA. And Ray Jackson looks like his tank may be getting pretty low, and you've got a Cougar down on the far side of the field as well. It'll be Steve Gleason, who's been very, very active. When fatigue gets a hold of you, oftentimes you'll find players will get hurt.
And this has been a problem, Keith, for Washington State in the past, as you well know, that they're good players, but they're not real deep. And by the end of the season, into November, they end up with a lot of players on the injured list.
Yeah, they do very well in September and October, and then go 0 for November, and that's when you get your bowl bids. Tonight on ESPN, 7:30, it'll be Texas Tech and Tennessee. Obviously, Peyton Manning ready to go, trying to win a lot of things for the Volunteers. And Texas Tech, of course, you got to fill a gap left by the departure of Brian Hanspard. That'll be an interesting ball game. Spike Back's bunch will fight you. So they'll go to Knoxville and give Tennessee a game of it, I suspect.
I just can't say enough about Peyton Manning. Keith, I just think he's, and I said this last week, I think he's the best quarterback to come out of college football in the last 14, 15 years. Since '83, that class with Marino and John Elway and that group.
They're spending a long time with Gleason on the sidelines, so there's an injury there, and they're taking the time for it. That's a big loss.
Yes, it is. Here's a look at UCLA. The next couple of games, they have Tennessee and Peyton Manning, and then they go up against Texas and James Brown. Then they take a week off, and they have to play Arizona with Keith Smith, who is a
Hey, Keith and Bob Lynn on the sideline. I hate to interrupt you, but I want to tell you what happened over here. Steve Gleason comes down, he gets a cramp, right? He's right on the sideline. He's got an opportunity to leave the field, but the trainer told him just to lay there. Get the injury timeout. Now you've got a well-rested defense on the football field inside the 20-yard line.
Smart trainer, I'll tell you.
Yes, sir. They needed a blow, too, because McNown and the Bruins are giving them fits right now. McNown's pass is away, and it is incomplete. And there's a penalty flag. Thrown by a linesman. He threw the ball. The side judge was right alongside the play, but the linesman, in his view, saw pass interference. So again, that's McNown making that play. It was one of those things that can go either way, and one saw it one way and one saw it the other. Right hand's what got him in trouble.
You're exactly right, but I don't see how the linesman saw that from the other side.
No, because the right hand was shielded away from the linesman. So it is first down and goal. UCLA at the Washington State 4-yard line. They're trailing 37-21 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And they give it to Hicks, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Brandon Moore was there. Number 46 was also involved in the play for Washington State. That would be Torrey Holloman from Everett. So there's a loss. Back to the 6. And it's second down and goal. Hicks and Caldwell split. McNown throws it, incomplete. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Todd Nelson, big middle linebacker out of Renton, chased him down. And Cade McNown's been doing a lot of running around lately. He's got to be a little winded himself.
You're exactly right. He's getting hit a lot, Keith. And they're not substitute. Here's 43. Watches when McNown rolls out. Todd Nelson's going to make a fine play. He's unblocked, runs right to him. Ball's almost picked off, but other guys are being substituted for. The quarterback, McNown, has played every down.
They got double wide, top of your picture. Durrell Price is back there. Shotgun, McNown. Clearly a pass play. Throws it underneath, and it's touchdown. Complete to Danny Farmer on an inside wide receiver screen on a goal line play.
On the goal line.
So they come up with something not terribly different, but certainly in an unusual place to run that one, and it works.
That was really strange to see that play ran run on the 3-yard line.
They're going to go for 2. The score now, with a conversion, will be 37-29. 10-point lead right now after the touchdown.
This would bring it down to 8 if they make this.
Yep. McNown throws incomplete, and they miss on it. So it's a 10-point lead for Washington State, trying to find the tight end.
Mike Gray, the intended receiver.
Now let's take a look at some upcoming program on ABC.
Nice job, man. Nice job.
37-27 now as the Bruins go 72 yards in 12 plays using 4 minutes and 13 seconds. And Farmer converts in what is officially a 5-yard touchdown reception. Ian Taylor and Kevin McKenzie are the deep people now to receive Chris Saylor's kickoff. 2:20 to play in the 3rd quarter.
This is an endurance. You gotta check these players to see who's going to be standing at the end of this game.
That kick will go to the end zone and beyond. So it'll come out to the 20, first down.
Keith, we've seen wide receiver screens before, and all of the years we've been doing college, we've never one inside the 5-yard line. Take a look here. Here's the wide receiver. He's going to come down and receive the ball right here from the quarterback. Now watch the linebackers. Look where he throws this football. Stop it right here. He throws this ball right here, and there's a seam right up inside. The offensive linemen go downfield. Well, you got to be careful there that defensive linemen, they've tried that before. Defensive lineman almost picked it off.
Cougars back to the attack now as Leaf turns and hands the ball to Michael Black. And Black will pick up 2. Second down and 8.
Keep your heads up, okay?
Bill Doba, the defensive coordinator, cheering up his troops.
When we get maced, they're going to run
Keith, both offenses and both defenses have averaged last year 29 or 30 points. So we're right about in the ball game here where we should be, 37-27. They give up a lot, they score a lot.
Leafs pass thrown underneath. Good sharp tackle. Stops Kevin McKenzie as Sean Williams, the free safety, made the tackle. Here's John Saunders.
Keith, Florida, the first game in defense of their national championship and first series for new starting quarterback Doug Johnson. He's picked by Patrick Surtain, so not a very good start out of the gate. Florida, #1 to start the season. It is scoreless right now. Idaho and Air Force, Spanky Gilliam with 2 touchdowns in the game, 14-10 final. Keith.
Michael Black spinning inside on 3rd down and a short 2, and he does not get it. There was no cracking anywhere for him. He's went searching for it, but not a chance. Now Washington State's got to do the old tango gig here. 1, 2, 3 punt. UCLA probably come out of this with pretty good field position. Jeff Banks, 3rd kick of the day. His first was 55. His second was 37. And Jermaine Lewis is waiting back around his 30. Penalty flag. Lewis chasing it. Falls down. Ball goes over his head. Didn't touch him. He didn't touch it. Just in case, McKenzie picked it up and cantered on into the end zone, but the ball is going to be put down about the 10-yard line, and if that penalty is against UCLA, the Cougars might depends. I don't know, but probably against Washington State. Procedure? Yes, it'll come back. You know it'll come back. Lewis looked up into that bright sky and just fell down. 62-yard punt as it was, but he loses it.
Leafs had a good day. He hasn't done much in the second half. But now, on the other hand, seems to have done better when he's behind. I noticed that some last year, that when he gets down or gets behind, whether it's the plays that are called for him or his play, he's a good guy that comes from behind. So he's been behind quite a bit in his career. He's only, in his 20 starts, he's only 10-10 as a starter.
Now Banks needs to crank up the leg big time here. Well, he's got some length, but it's low, and that gives Lewis some room. Runs into his own man, and that slows him down, and the Cougars come back, but still, he was able to return it 9 yards after a 47-yard punt. The wind has not been a factor in the ball game at all today.
Lewis, number 23.
So the UCLA Bruins come out of this with very good field position. First down at their own 39-yard line. They trail by 10, 37-27, and the third quarter is over. So ABC Sports presentation of college football continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Well, we're struck with disaster here. The third quarter had not ended. The officials ordered 0.4 of a second put back on the clock, and lo and behold, UCLA comes up with an enormous play that reaches all the way down to the Washington State 11-yard line. This was the play right here.
Downs faking a draw. He'll throw it right down the middle of the field. You see the safety, Jackson, turning and running.
It's a great catch by McElroy.
He's the guy with the quickest speed on the team.
UCLA now, old Mo's wearing a white shirt. That play went for 50 yards, and now officially they have declared the quarter over. I never saw a flag or saw any indication at all of what the quarter was over as the scoreboard clock expired, but the officials, Jim Fogelzant, said nope, they want 0.4 of a second. Then you just saw the 50-yard pass play that puts UCLA down on the Washington State front porch.
Well, UCLA is right back in this ballgame. Obviously,
could it be the Washington State defense is kind of wearing down?
They might be.
Remember, Bobby Toledo had said that he had cut short the practice times with making a conscious effort to bring his team in here with fresh legs.
There's a young man that should be wearing down right there, Cade McNown. He has gotten he's gotten hit a lot this afternoon just as he was throwing the ball.
So it's down on the 11-yard line of the Cougars, and first down, UCLA. So the Bruins were a comeback team a year ago, sometimes, particularly in the last game of the year. And here they are, knocking again. Ball given to Hicks. Hicks turns the corner with good leverage and powers his way to the 4-yard line. Leon Bender made the tackle. So Hicks has been pretty good on that first down run here in the second half. Got 182 yards now in the ball game.
He could go over 200. McNown now 14 of 27 for 182 yards and a touchdown.
High formation. Hicks again. Touchdown. So UCLA right back in the middle of it. Score the touchdown to make it a 37-33 ball game. And a conversion here will pull them within 3.
You said it right, Keith. Old Mo is wearing a white shirt right now. You give that ball to Hicks going around the corner. It's hard to stop him.
You got another injured Cougar. It's Ray Jackson. Jackson's been kind of grabbing at his leg for some time. I think he's just worn out back in that safety position.
There's a look at this play. That's Myers, 78, coming around. Gets a piece of Jackson. Hicks has had a big day.
Washington State Cougars.
Hicks has just scored his 4th touchdown, and that ties the school record, his own record for touchdowns in a game. He had 4 a year ago. So Skip Hicks comes in healthy and says, look out, here I come.
Join us for 5th quarter rally.
And it was generally accepted as a put-up season for him because he hasn't had all that much luck in his career. Ray Jackson continues to be the Cougar they're administering to. His career high for Hicks is 175 yards. He gets one more, and he'll have a new record for himself in yardage in a game.
And all kinds of injuries early on in his career. He had a knee, and
well, he hurt himself long jumping too.
Yeah, he's had a couple of injuries over the years, and it's good to see him get back and do well.
Jackson's up and walking off the field now, so he's walking all right. So he seemingly will be okay after he cools down a bit. But right now, the Cougars are up against it. They owned on 2 occasions a 16-point lead, and a successful conversion here is going to cut it down to 3, and you've got an entire quarter to play virtually.
They've only been on the field 11 plays in the second half, and you know, Keith, it's kind of tough to get the momentum back and the engine started again when you were up by 16, 18 points, and you figured it was going to be a laugher. You go out there and just this one's already put away, but UCLA will not go away, and the Cougars are going to have to come out and score some more points.
Drew Bennett. No, it's not Bennett, it's Strikula holding. And the kick is good by Saylor, and it is now 37-34 Cougars. UCLA down by only 3 now. Will kick it away to Washington State. The offense for the Cougars been on the sideline for a long rest. It's time now to put up. And Saylor hits it high and deep. And no return out to the 20. First down. Here's Swanee.
If there was ever a shortcoming that Hicks had, they always said he wouldn't go inside and get the tough 4 or 5 yards. That's what Bob Palillo said. But last year against USC, he came back. And today, what he's doing, he's showing the maturity of a running back. He knows when to take it upfield and get the hard 4 or 5 yards. And like on this play, he knows when to break it to the outside, use his speed to make the big play. That's the difference between a young running back and a mature running back. Keith?
Right now, it's Washington State's ball. First down at the 20. Bledsoe steps in at quarterback. Nobody behind him. Now Black comes back and circles behind him. And he was out of position. So now he's set. And they bring motion from the other side, and Black gets it. And he's got about 4 yards out to the 24-yard line.
Keith, the pressure is really on this offense now. Ryan Leaf and the rest of them. They scored 37 points in this game, and yet they find themselves out here needing to make some first downs, needing to stay on the field and really score some points.
They've got to give the defense some rest. They're going to get blown away.
They've snapped the ball 11 times in the second half compared to 27 for UCLA.
The Bruins are hot. They're coming. Passes away. Passes thrown just beyond the reach of Kevin McKenzie. So it'll be third down and 6.
Just got word that Sean Timms, the receiver, one of the Fab Five for the Cougars, has a slightly pulled hamstring. We don't know whether or not he'll be back in the ball game. Big play here for both sides.
Nyan Taylor and Mac Washington are the wideouts. Bledsoe getting pressure. He's hit as the ball is slapped up in the air, and it falls away incomplete. And once again, it's 1, 2, 3 kick.
Partner, I think you got Bledsoe on your mind.
Almost said Bledsoe. Danwan McGee hit his arm as he delivered the ball.
There's been so much talk around here of Drew Bledsoe and Ryan Leaf being like Drew Bledsoe.
McGee was the man that slapped the arm as Leaf threw the ball, and so it is 4th unless there's a penalty.
Yes,
There is a penalty, and I still haven't seen the flag.
I haven't either.
Where'd he come from?
Holding on a defense. 10
Oh, my
yards,
goodness.
first down.
That is an enormous mistake.
It's like a turnover, Keith. And Bob Toledo, I don't know whether he's upset at the official or at one of his defensive players, but it's a turnover. UCLA forced them to punt the ball. Now they give it back to him.
Yeah, they had him 4th and long, and the kick was coming, and they give it up. And it's first down, Washington State at the 34. Bruins show blitz, and Leaf gives it to Jackson, and he gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. And the UCLA defense, though light they may be, they are swarming and attacking right now.
Exactly, the front 7. Ian Badejo, number 50, 53, Wilmer, they're all getting in there. This defense is light, Keith, and it's a 3-3-5. And like we said earlier, it's kind of a unique type of thing, but they're slanting, they're moving, you never know where they're going to be. They were 3rd last year in the Pac-10 against the run. Like trying to hit a moving target.
DeJuan Gilmore is in, number 1 as a receiver, and Ryan Leaf gets some pressure. They chase him. He's got the ball in the air, and man, deep downfield, the pass is completed. All the way down to the 10-yard line. The ball is slapped loose and recovered by UCLA. Washington State man had the ball all the way down to the 7. Sean Williams covers the ball as it squirts out in the struggle for possession. And it looks like the sky may have fallen for the moment, at least, on the Cougars.
Unbelievable. Leaf made an outstanding play, just scrambling around and getting the ball to the receiver, and then he gets it taken away from him.
Mac Washington was the man that made the catch, and Sean Williams was running with him and took it away.
There's the reception. Allen, number 20. Now he knocks the ball loose. Nice play by Allen.
Now here comes Williams.
Sean Williams, 32, is going to get it.
If he had knocked it out of bounds, it would have remained Washington State's ball.
Let's see, it was close to being out of bounds. And the receiver was close to being out. Well, oh, that was very close. The official is right there. You got to go with what the official saw.
He was looking right at it.
He was right there.
And so it's UCLA ball on a very dramatic turnaround at the 10-yard line. Nobody behind McNown. Little pass thrown underneath and almost picked off. It was intended for McElroy and was almost taken away by Brandon Moore.
Let's take a look at McNown and UCLA, what they've done in the second half offensively. They've had the ball 4 possessions. They've scored 3 touchdowns, and they missed a field goal. But look at the number of plays. 29 plays in the first 4 possessions.
Second down and 10 for the Bruins. Ball is given to Hicks. Ball comes back. And the Cougar defense now showing some life and spirit. They've been pretty quiet here in the second half. Going into the 4th quarter with 12 minutes to play.
The ball was handed off and knocked loose by Bender. And McNown just happened to be in the right area.
Yep. Brandon Moore was the man that ran him down. If McNown is not in the way or in the right place at the right time, the ball might well have belonged to Washington State right there. So the Bruins on 3rd and 11 now, trying to take advantage of the circumstance and keep possession against the tired Washington State defense. McNown rolls out, lets it go, and it is incomplete. Almost intercepted.
Well, the Cougar defense stepped up. Brandon Moore. Cade's going to roll to his right side, which means he's got to throw the left hand. He got to square his shoulders. And his receiver's open. See him right there. But by the time the ball gets there, the defensive man, this is dangerous right here. The ball's up in the air. The Cougars almost got it.
Saylor is in the end zone. Chris is 5 yards deep. Gets it out, and it's a beauty. It is a beauty. McKenzie drops the ball, picks it up at the 40, 45, and down at the 49.
On the return, Kevin McKenzie.
You've got 11:21 to play in the game, and the Cougars have good field position to start this possession. The Cougars come to the line of scrimmage, first down, their own 49-yard line with 11:21 to play in the game. They hand it inside to Michael Black, and he will pick up a couple of yards, and that's all. For those of you curious about the punt by Chris Saylor out of the end zone, it was a 58-yarder. So he is a very good one. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the 1997 Pontiac Bonneville, luxury with an attitude. Visa, the official car of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. And Frost Brewed Coors Light, who reminds you the three most important words are, hey, beer man. Second down. Leaf, little pass completed out to Black, coming out of the backfield, and Michael will get down to about the 45-yard line, so they'll be looking at 3rd and 4.
Nice play by Ambadejo, the middle linebacker for the Bruins.
We got 2 new defensive backs coming in, so you're going to have a dime package out on the field on 3rd down and 4 for Washington State. The offense has been very quiet of late, except for that one big play, and they lost the ball at the end of it.
Get single coverage down here to the bottom of the screen.
Leafs pass incomplete. Thrown behind the intended receiver. Penalty flags. Pass interference against UCLA. DeJuan Gilmore defended by Damian Allen. I think that's where it occurred because there were 3 flags that hit him.
DeJuan Gilmore, number 1, was the intended receiver.
Yep.
Pass interference on the defense. Spot foul, automatic first down.
31-yard line of UCLA. In penalties, the Bruins 9 for 79 yards. Washington State 7 for 52 yards. 3 wideouts come to the bottom of the picture. Leaf gives inside. Penalty flag is thrown. It comes out of the referee's pocket. DeJuan Gilmore carried it, a sophomore from Gardena, and I think motion calls coming against the Cougars.
I think the right tackle for the Cougars was moving a little bit before the ball was snapped.
So that'll back them up 5. Getting tired now, both teams, and they're making mistakes, physical mistakes.
Mike Price is in his 9th year at the Washington State. He's been a head coach for 17 years.
Came here from Weber State.
Yep. He's good friends. He was a high school classmate of Dennis Erickson, who is now the Seattle Seahawks coach. Talks to Dennis quite often.
1st and 15 as Leaf drops, pumps, throws it, and he's lucky to get it back.
Yeah, he should never have thrown that ball.
Very lucky to get it back.
He stood in there a long time. There was a lot of pressure around him. You can't expect your offensive lineman. Look at this. Look at the pressure. Nevedomski is 45. He just stood in there and just, more often than not, something bad's going to happen if you wait that long and throw it that late.
So from the 36-yard line, the Cougars are looking 2nd down and 15. They lead 37-34. 10 minutes and 8 seconds to play in the ball game. This is Gilmore. Fresh legs. All the way to the 10-yard line. DeJuan Gilmore, sophomore, Gardena, California. He's only 5'8", but he weighs 194 pounds.
And Keith, you hit it on the head. Fresh legs. Atkins, 35, is on a blitz on the outside. Nobody even touches Atkins. He just runs inside of him. Now Sawanga, number 11, is going to be blocked. Gilmore almost split this all the way. He's just pulled down a little bit from the behind by Williams and Rock.
But the ball is on the 10, and it's first, I guess, and goal. Leaf gives to Michael Black, who has come back in. Black tries to come back a little bit against the grain, and there's not much there. In fact, there's nothing there.
Wilmer, 53. He's the veteran in this group. Fifth-year senior making his 21st start.
Cougars need more than 3 here if they're to stake a late claim.
And if UCLA can hold them to 3, that would be
pick up.
That's right. It would be a 6-point game, and their offense could go down and score.
Timeout, Washington State. 8 minutes and 58 seconds to play in the game, and we're nearing the end of a long, hot day. DeJuan Gilmore is back in the backfield for Washington State now. But Leaf's throwing to Gilmore. He has it and drops it. Not a very good pass. Thrown behind him. He had to turn around to get it. That's a wasted play.
UCLA was coming after him. UCLA wasn't about to sit back, Keith, and just let them do anything they want. Here's a look at the defense. Watch the 2 linebackers. They're going to blitz, not giving Leaf a lot of time to think about it. All 3 of them come. He sets in there and then tries to throw it over the head of the defender.
DeJuan Gilmore's only 5'8". It's hard to get it to him.
That's true. It's the key play now, right here.
Chris Jackson way up top to the right as a wideout. Leaf back, looks at Jackson, turns around. Now goes the other way into the end zone, and it's incomplete. He had Michael Black over there by himself, but he couldn't get himself turned to get it to him, so he threw into the crowd. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, that is something that Leaf does a lot. Throws late into a crowded area. And there was nobody open over there. Early on, there's nobody. He wants to throw to our left side. It's a little pump. It's probably an in and an out. Still looking left. He has to throw the ball, so he just says, all right, I'll just throw it a wing and a prayer.
All right, Ryan Lindell is going to try a 27-yard dart to fake. Quarterback holding, throws, intercepted in the end zone by UCLA's Larry Atkins.
And he should have stayed in the end zone.
Yes, he should have. David Muir is a quarterback who is the holder. He threw the ball, underthrew it. He had a man down there, but he threw it short. And it was intercepted by Larry Atkins, and he comes out to the 6-yard line where he is touched.
This is pretty well defensed, though, by UCLA also. Muir had a guy in his face. He had a guy in his face, and Atkins did get back there.
The whole second half's been kind of weird.
That's an interesting call. Mike Price says if we're up by, I want to be up by more than just 6. I thought it was a good call.
Hyman got it. I agree with you. It would have worked if Muir had delivered it long enough. Now the Cougar defense has got to step up again. The pass is completed to McElroy, and McElroy's taken down, but not before he gets to the 17-yard line and a first down. Lawan Gibbons, the cornerback, made the tackle. And so the Bruins now have some real estate at their back.
McElroy's got all the speed, so they got to give him a lot of room down there on the secondary with the corners.
Yeah, we got some time, too.
Got time, he says. We got some time, plenty of time. Take your time.
8:20 to play.
All we need is a field goal, really, to tie.
And that's Skip Hicks. He runs it across the 20 to about the 21. Tomorrow night on ABC, a special hour featuring a special episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, followed by a sneak preview of Disney's great new Saturday morning show, Recess. And then after America's Funniest Home Videos, network premiere Dangerous Indiscretion with Joan Severance and Malcolm McDowell. That's tomorrow night on ABC. Second down and 8 from the 21. Sacked. Dorian Boose from Tacoma.
I think that's the first sack for Boose today. He had 7 last year. He's coming around Overhauser on the right side, number 90. In his career here, he's gained over 70 pounds and lowered his 40 time by 1/10 of a second. That's amazing. Lots of pressure for McNown.
A lot of holding going in there in the middle, but pass is completed to Farmer, and Farmer's across the 40 and out to the 42-yard line for a first down, and it's the mobility of McNown that made that play work.
Just keeping it alive. Nobody was open. Got to move the other way. Now, run with me. If I'm running left, just break to the left. Farmer stopped what he was doing and went back the other way. But now wants to throw this ball to the right side. There's nobody open, so we'll run to the left. Middle of your screen, there's Farmer coming in. Nice job both times, both guys.
First down Bruins. 3-point lead, Washington State. McNown wants to go deep for McElroy, and it is no good, and a penalty flag interference called against Washington State's Lawan Gibbons. He didn't know where the ball was, and he ran up the legs of McElroy. It's a 15-yard penalty and a first down in college football.
See, I think that's a good play, Keith. I think it's a good play, and I don't think teams do it often enough, and that is just send the wide receiver straight down the field. McElroy's got the speed, but maybe he doesn't catch it. Maybe he's going to be interfered with. Yeah. He hit him. He definitely hit him before the ball got there.
Ran over his legs.
Yeah, no question. But it's a good call because you may get the interference, you may get the completion, and if neither of those occur, at least you're sending a message to the defense, hey, you better play loose because we will try to go deep.
So the penalty moves the ball to the Cougar side of the field. It's first down UCLA at the Washington State 43.
Well, we heard Bob Toledo saying earlier, you got plenty of time. Now you almost have too much time.
6:28. Hicks.
Now what you want to do offensively is make sure you move down, and you want to score a touchdown for sure. But you want to take some time off the clock so that when you do score, there's not much left.
Bender and Meyer on the inside, Boose and Doyle on the outside on that front four for the Cougars. McNown to throw. Here comes the pressure. He'll go down. Second sack of the day for the Cougars.
A lot of pressure, but excellent coverage by the secondary and man-to-man coverage. Changed it up a little bit. The corners did. Came up and played the mug coverage. Got all over the wideouts. Did not let the timing route develop. McNown had to pull it down. Big third down play. Third down. 14 yards to go for the Bruins.
See if the Cougars can get pressure again. Jonathan Nansen on the outside to be the speed rusher. McNown has time. Being chased, throws, caught, Danny Farmer. Farmer across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Big first down for the Bruins.
Cade McNown, excellent protection this time. Cougars only bring 4. They're picked up. McNown improvises again, rolling to his left, and is able to find Farmer, who shakes Stewart after pretty good coverage, but just too much time. Big pickup on third down for UCLA.
6:40 to go in the football game now. First down, Bruins at their own 42. Skip Hicks, play fake. McNown going for it all for McElroy, and it's going to be interference. Lawan Gibbons got the feet tangled up with McElroy, and that's going to cost the Cougars.
There's going to be discussion of was the ball catchable. One official, the line judge, is the one that threw the flag there. Pass interference indeed, and that's going to go against Washington State. Good call. It looked like he fell right on top of him. McElroy might have had a chance to get to that ball. He's gotten to just about everything else.
McElroy with excellent speed, a member of the UCLA track team. And the Cougars unable to run him down that time. So the Bruins are going to get 15 yards on that penalty. Mike Price hoping that fake field goal attempt that backfired on the Cougars does not come back to haunt them. 6:28 to go in the football game. Cougars lead it by 3. Bruin ball on the Cougar 43. I gotta believe it's Skip Hicks time now. And Hicks picks up a couple. He's still got the momentum as he meets Leon Bender and bowls Bender over to pick up an extra yard.
He's going to come out, take a blow.
Gain of 4 for Hicks. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 39 now. Hicks 182 yards on the ground.
UCLA may be thinking, let's try to run this ball a little bit, milk some time off the clock. They're in a position where they're thinking 3 points or a touchdown is great, but we don't want Ryan Leaf to have that ball back.
McNown originally out of the shotgun, and there's a delay of game. They didn't get the play off.
Really didn't like the setup at all as he's in the shotgun, then wanted to check off and into a running play, but realized he didn't have Skip Hicks in the ball game, and actually wisely, instead of calling timeout, maybe wasting one, take 5 yards. No problem with that.
So now 2nd and 11 for the Bruins, back from the 44. Darrell Price back in the game, wasn't sure if he should be there. Now he'll leave and Keith Brown will come in. So the Bruins still having a little trouble getting the correct personnel in place. Cougars show blitz. Here they come. McNown, the play fakes, buys some time and has the completion. I believe that's Tyrone Pierce who makes the catch. Beautiful ball fake by McNown, took away the pressure.
Well, if he turns right after that fake, he gets blasted by 2 Cougars, Gleason and Stewart. He turns left, his favored side, finds his tight end, just dragging down underneath the coverage, and nice gritty, gutty play.
5:20 left to go in the football game now. Play fake, McNown dumps it, has Price inside the 20, and the Bruins on the move.
They're just doing an excellent job of mixing it up, that time rolling to the right side, the wide side of the field, sneaking a back out, a reserve slot back, and picking up first downs with guys other than Skip Hicks, and now Skip Hicks will come back in the ball game. He likes to score. When they get down near that end zone, they'll get him the ball one way or another. There you see 247 yards. Cade McNown making a comeback after a very shaky start.
Turnovers the big key. Cougars have turned it over 4 times, the Bruins just once. Cougar lead is 3. Bruins knocking on the door. Hicks, left side, cuts it back, and still on his feet, and finally stood up after a gain of 6. So it'll be 2nd and 4 from the 14 for the Bruins. Hicks is going to sleep well on the charter back home. Skip Hicks, 4 touchdowns, 188 yards. 2nd down for the Bruins. Hicks has it again. Sheds a tackler, 1st down.
Looked like Washington State had it pretty well bottled up, and a couple of guys, I think Brandon Moore got tangled up with Dorian Boose, and they took each other down. Something was created out of nothing, and now the Bruins are in scoring position. This is where he really got to suck it up. Mike Price might even consider calling timeout here to get his defense pumped up, because this is huge. Want to force the field goal down here, not give up the 6.
1st and goal from the 9 for the Bruins. There's Hicks. He's hit in the backfield and won't have anything. Cougars got some penetration from the outside that time. It was Brandon Moore who made the contact. But the clock moves.
Nelson Moore. It looks like Kenny Moore is also in there at the other linebacker position. Haven't seen much of Steve Gleason. Nope, Gleason is in there, not Kenny Moore. He's been nursing a little cramp problem himself. Pressure from the outside. They run it up inside of him. Nothing
Jermaine
there.
Lewis, nothing. Lost a yard. Now the chess match starts. Do you call timeout? It'll be 3rd and goal from the 11 for the Bruins. 3:30 and moving. Bruins have 3 timeouts. The Cougars 2.
Skip Hicks is not in the game. Lewis at tailback. If I'm the coaching staff for UCLA, I think about using Cade McNown rolling to his left side, trying to buy some time. Split backs.
Quick toss, Lewis open, makes the catch, drop the ball. They're going to call it a catch or a fumble. They're going to give him the catch, say he's out at the 1. My goodness, now what do you do? 4th and goal from the 1. Do you go for the lead, or do you go for the field goal to tie?
Lewis thought he was in. Great layout catch. The ball bounces out of his hands, and it just falls harmlessly out at the 1-yard line. And so here it is. Skip Hicks is not in the ball game. Cheyenne Caldwell at fullback. Lewis at the tailback.
McNown, will he sneak it? He'll give it to Lewis. I don't know. Cougars think they stopped him. The spot's at the 1 they've held.
Great job by the defensive line. Leon Bender down underneath that pile. Dorian Boose. Rob Meyer getting leverage, getting low, not letting them get blown off the ball, and that's a huge defensive goal line stand for Washington State.
A while ago, people were wondering about Mike Price's fake field goal call. Now they're wondering about Bob Toledo's call to go for it from the 1.
Not out of danger yet. On the half-yard line, Ryan Leaf, Michael Black in the backfield. Get some breathing room.
A couple of first downs will do it for Washington State. And I would imagine we will see 2 more runs from Michael Black. Unless
Straight
something
ahead
strange
blocking.
happens here.
See if they can move out these lighter Bruins. They've been stunning Linebacker's been causing problems. UCLA looking to try and take the ball away.
Black bounces off one tackler. Can he get outside? To about the 9. Third and 2.
UCLA holding Michael Black up, not letting him go to his knees and trying to get that football ripped loose. He did a good job there, just holding on to the football.
Timeout's been called by UCLA. They're first. Cougars lead it by 3, trying to hang on. 1:55 to go. You're watching Cougar football on Fox Sports Northwest.
Join Cougar Volleyball this season as they set their sights on the national championships in Spokane. For season tickets, call 509-335-9626.
(1-800-FIGHT-MS) to register now.
Cougars by 3. They face a 3rd and 2 at their own 9-yard line to try to keep this drive alive. Leafs gonna throw, guns it, McWashington, first down, Washington State. And with that completion, Ryan Leaf.
And he stood in bounds. Actually, he's arguing he was in bounds, but the officials.
First down will stop it for a minute anyway.
Stop the clock.
With that completion, by the way, Ryan Leaf with a new career high, 356 passing yards. And 355 against San Jose State. Last year, UCLA uses their second timeout.
Great first down there. Washington State on their own half-yard line. Couple pops by Michael Black, and then get man-to-man coverage. Just do the little out route, secure hands of Sean McWashington. Makes the catch and a first down. Nice play call there by Mike Price. Everybody expecting run the clock out. He has a lot of trust in his senior split end, Sean McWashington, who hauled that one in and used that 300-plus pound bench press to keep wraps on that football.
1:48 to go in the game. UCLA can stop the clock one more time. So, Washington State might be able to run the clock out without a first down, but with a first down, the game is over. We talked about how critical a game this is to the hopes of each school. And UCLA, if they end up losing this game, boy, talk about a tough situation. The Bruins from here will play Tennessee and Texas, a couple of top 20 teams and bowl teams of a year ago. The Cougars will have a week off before they test USC and LA. First down and 10 for the 15. Michael Black will take it and will get a yard or two. And let's see if UCLA burns that final timeout right now or not. Black with 102 yards unofficially this afternoon. UCLA will not stop at this time. The Cougars will wait. Now the play clock starts with 1:29 on the game clock.
Good job by Michael Black pretending he's tangled up, allowing the officials to delay things, and he'll walk off the field. Gilmore, again, some fairly fresh legs. Young man, I'm sure, has been instructed. Both hands on the ball.
Play fake. Leaf hangs on. He's going to try to throw it over the middle, and it is caught by McWashington. A daring call that this time pays off, and the Cougars can now run out the clock.
Well, we've seen it all. McWashington with two huge plays here in the final seconds. UCLA will stop this clock with 1 minute left to go in the game. Ryan Leaf delivers the final nail in the coffin, I believe, as he's able to deliver that ball. Nice ball fake. Drifts to his right and throws an absolute shot. McWashington cradling that ball in not worried about trying to run with it after he catches it. And that's a huge first down. Washington State in the driver's seat right now.
Ryan Leaf is our Sterling Savings Player of the Game. There's what he's done so far. Those 381 yards passing. The 7th best performance ever by a Cougar quarterback. Skip Hicks, our Magnolia High-Five Player of the Game. What an effort by Skip Hicks. 4 touchdowns for the 3rd time in his career, 191 yards. And I know it's a cliche, but it's unfortunate that someone had to lose this football game.
Well, the most surprising thing about Skip Hicks' day was that he wasn't in the football game. 4th and 1, UCLA going for it. They had 3 timeouts to burn to give him some time to rest on the sidelines and walk out to the field, but they elected to keep him on the sidelines, and UCLA does not score as Ryan Leaf will take a knee. The clock will now move on down to 0 as UCLA is helpless to stop it.
Cougars will have to snap it one more time, and that'll probably be it. And Washington State is going to clear a big hurdle here, knocking off UCLA in the opener, unless Joe Pisarcik takes this handoff or snap in the near future. And the Cougars will be 1-0 and have a week off to prepare for USC. That's it. They won't have to snap it again. So Ryan Leaf and the Washington State Cougars.
Congratulations from the big guard, Jason McIndoe. Steve Birnbaum comes over, and all the Cougars sidelines comes out. What a great football game they both have played. UCLA has nothing to hang their hats about. That was a entertaining football game, to say the least.
The Cougars managed to overcome 4 turnovers and use a big second quarter, a 27-point second quarter to hang on and knock off UCLA 37-34. The next time you'll see the Cougars right here on Fox Sports Northwest, it'll be live. The Cougs against USC Saturday, September 13th from the Los Angeles Coliseum at 3:30 in the afternoon. Coming up next, tennis from the men-to-net champion semifinals from Detroit, Michigan. The men-to-net champion semifinals from Detroit. For Cleet Casper and the rest of the Fox Sports Northwest crew, I'm Bud Namick. The Cougars win it in a thriller, 37-34 from Pullman.